And welcome to another episode of the Weekly Talk on the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. I'm Taylor Phillips. He's Ed Smith. Just got three topics to talk about, three teams to cover, including our Lions, Tigers, and Red Wings. Quick mention on them. Let's get to the Lions first. They released their 2023 regular season and preseason schedules. Let's get to the regular season first. They kick off their season in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium against the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champions, including Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, and Pacheco. I like to call him the Pachinko Ball. But the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions, and then their home opener is on Sunday,
Thursday,
the
actually.
17th. No, I'm talking about their home opener. Yeah,
Oh,
Thursday night football in Kansas City opening week
yeah.
on NBC at Arrowhead Stadium. Dan Campbell and his grit squad against the defending Super Bowl champions. That should be an interesting one, Ed. Very interesting.
Very much so, considering the fact that it's banner night, it's ring night. You see the defending champs get to, bask in their glory on their home field. So you have to wonder, is that going to play into their mindset of them, how they come out to start the game? Will they be too full of champagne thoughts? Will they be looking a little rusty, just looking to shake off some of the rust after not playing in a few months? Um, I really want to see how the Lions are going to perform in that game in general. I think it's going to come down to a certain strategy. In terms of for what Dan Campbell himself, I believe he's going to have this mindset instilled in those players, whether it be to OTAs, these mini camps, especially when training camp starts for these next few months, is to get their mindset ready, not just for the whole season in general, but especially ready for week one. It's like when you see it in college football sometimes when a coaching staff or a coach has to get their players psyched for the start of the season or for a big game that's coming up later at the end of the schedule. We want to say, for example, Michigan and Ohio State doing this for each other and vice versa. I could see that, especially with the Dan Campbell, his mindset, the way he implements things, and the way he wants, how he has exemplified the culture being ran around here in Detroit, and how the players follow through that. So I could see them keep getting the players in the mindset to where, hey, you go out there, you leave everything out there, no matter what happens, no matter what the result is against Kansas City. I'm not saying they're going to go out there and shock the world, but I'm thinking they're going to go in there and have the same type of performance that we saw against Green Bay on Sunday night to end the year. We're going to see that same type of energy to open the year. And hey, doesn't matter if you're the defending champs. It's like Dan Campbell said himself on Hard Knocks. We'll play you on the landfill. We'll play you on the moon. We'll play you wherever.
Yeah. Then we got yeah. I mentioned the Seahawks the home opener on the 17th. That's Sunday at 1 on Fox. And then the Falcons coming up town. And then the first divisional game is at Lambeau Field. They take on Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. You know, keep in mind Aaron Rodgers is with the Jets now. Thursday night
Yes.
football, 8:15 on Amazon Prime Video.
Yes, exactly. This is your second primetime nationally televised game in about 4 weeks to kick off the start of your season. And the fact that you're doing this second one at Lambeau, the very site where you ended the Aaron Rodgers era, now you get a chance to welcome Jordan Love into the fray of this rivalry. Nice way to help get yourself started against your individual record portion of the schedule. Um, Again, it seems like a game that could go either way, but I just like the fact that we're getting more exposure compared to what we were getting for the majority of last year. And is Taylor there? Are we having problems? Testing, testing. Yep, we have a problem, Houston. Give us one moment. We're experiencing some technical difficulties. Our apologies, folks.
Yeah. All right, I'm back. Hey, Ed.
Yep,
Yep.
can you hear me well?
Yep.
All right, sorry about that, folks. But I was basically finishing up my point about what the Lions, what they can do to start getting some momentum, or what they can do against the divisional portion of their schedule with this game against the Packers and Lambeau.
Yep. And then we got and then we got the Carolina Panthers at home, and then the Buccaneers and Ravens on the road, and then the Las Vegas Raiders on week 8, and then the bye week on week 9, and then the Bears and Packers at home. Packers on Thanksgiving at Ford Field.
Yeah, worth noting, by the way, with that bye week coming not just in week 9, which is essentially the midpoint, the literal midpoint of the season. It's going to be after that week 8 Monday night home game against the Raiders, which I think, considering it's the night before Halloween, I think it's going to be quite a festive mood for the city in general. You know, it's going to be hot. They're going to be incredibly hyped for their Monday night game in general. Uh, I think though, for in terms of a schedule standpoint, if you can finish that part of the schedule with, let's say, a win, and leave yourself with, let's say, a 5-3 record, for example, hypothetically speaking, that puts you at the halfway mark in terms of getting to, in my opinion, the magic number of needing 10 wins or so to at the very least get you a playoff spot. Because I think if you win 10 wins in this NFC, you're at the very least going to get a wild card spot. I don't know if that's going to guarantee you a divisional, you know, winning the division. But I think I would rather take, a guaranteed shot at winning the playoffs with 10 wins than rather a 50-50 chance of, yeah, maybe I'll win the division, maybe I'll not, and I'm winning with the same amount. So um, if you're halfway there with 5 wins, if you say, start off strong with the first 4 weeks and then you win the Monday night game against the Raiders, that'll be a good sign for your season, in my opinion.
Yep. December 3rd, they're in New Orleans against the Saints at Caesars Superdome. Um,
Another name
th-
change.
yep. I know, right?
Gosh.
Kind of Caesar's Palace or something like that.
I guess I should just stuff the calling it the Superdome and be done with
Oh,
it.
like the Mercedes Benz Superdome.
It was the Mercedes Benz Superdome, but it's again the sponsorship stuff has gotten so out of hand here.
Yeah, yeah, and then they go to Chicago to play the Bears again, and then the Broncos come into town, and then the Lions don't play the Vikings until weeks 16 and 18 with the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium in Dallas in Arlington against Dallas in between.
Now, considering the fact for the second half of that schedule, you have your yearly Thanksgiving game, which again is against the Packers, and also you have this Saturday night game on for Week 17 against at Dallas against the Cowboys. Now, the way that game is going to be presented is going to be presented in the style of a Monday night football game, but the reason why it's being moved to Saturday is going to be is due to the fact that the following Monday for Week 17 it will be on New Year's Day. So to avoid all that, the NFL is moving that to December 30th, the preceding Saturday, which coincidentally that bumps up the starting time of the Orange Bowl from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So worth noting a quick little note in there. But I digress. Between the fact that you have this Thanksgiving game and the Saturday night game against the Cowboys, that's now a total of what, 4 or 5 national televised / primetime games. So the fact that we went from minimal exposure last year to now all this exposure this year lets me know that the league took notice of the type of momentum the Lions had at the end of your year last season. They saw the fans clamoring for attention, saying, "Hey, we want more attention. We want more love. We think we can be one of the better teams in the league next year." And the league just looked at them and said, "All right, fine. We're going to give you a proven schedule." We knew for a fact that we were facing certain teams in certain divisions anyway. We knew we were facing the AFC West and the NFC South to go along with our usual divisional opponents against the guys in the North. But the fact that saying, hey, week 1, we're giving you the defending Super Bowl champions on their turf as they drop their banner and show their rings, I think that's a proven game. The fact that we're getting all these primetime games is another example of a proven schedule. And the fact that they've yet to announce of how the Minnesota time, and schedule, because in my opinion, those could be potential flex games. Because let's say, for example, going into Week 18, both these teams have the same record, and essentially the division title is on the line. You mean to tell me Sunday Night Football is not going to want a chance to get that flexed? The fact that you have a win in your end division title game at Ford Field, yeah, I can see that potentially happening if that were the case. So, again, to me, if you want to get to that magic number, it comes down to these two factors: defend home field and win against your division. If you can say win 5, 6, dare I say 7 games at home, I'm not saying you're going to win all 8. I think that's not going to be possible in this day and age. It's virtually impossible to win all your games on the road. Oh, excuse me, all your games at home, no matter what type of NFL team you are. But if you can win at least 5 or so games at home, that means all you got to do is take care of business on the road. Well, guess what? If you handle your business against your divisional opponent on the road, that's at least 2, if not 3 games right there of what you won on your that you can add to your win total. So as long as you handle business at home and take care of things when you're a division, you add it all up. That's 10 wins, and like I said, that's your likely playoff spot.
Yeah, it is. 10, maybe 11. Some including myself, pick 12 and 5 as my ceiling. I'd go 10 and 12 just to be fair.
Yeah, but to me, I think 10. If you were going to say that the over under was going to be, say, 9 or so, or 10, or 9.5, for example, I would take the over on that, because I think this is a team that's capable of winning 10 games. I really do.
Yep. All right. So the New York Giants, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Carolina Panthers are the Lions' 3 preseason opponents. Giants and Jaguars to be determined, both at Ford Field. Channel and time to be determined, but they're at Carolina on Fox at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, Sunday, August 27th at 8 p.m.
Worth noting that the Giants game will be busy after the preceding week of joint practices between the two teams as well.
All right. So, Tigers, hold on a second. Yep. Oh, yep. Ed's meter. Okay. The Tigers, they lost the first 2 games to the Seattle Mariners, but they won the finale 5-3. Let me. I haven't got a chance to dig up the scoring summary. Okay, so
I know
Andy Ibanez walked with the bases loaded after Nick Maton got hit by the pitch, allowing the go-ahead run to score. I saw that at the workplace in the staff break room. Wow.
Riley Green was 3 for 5, I believe.
I believe. Riley Green was 3 for 5. He's got a 279 average and a 727 OPS. Zach McKinstry 1 for 2 with a walk. 273 average, 754 OPS. And Andy Ibanez 1 for 3 with a walk and an RBI, a bases loaded walk, like I mentioned before. Ibanez's average is 295 with an 803 OPS. Mm-hmm. Shocker, isn't it?
Very nice. What's also nice was seeing Akil Baddoo getting a clutch RBI double as well.
To tie the game, yes.
Yeah. Because they were trailing. They were trailing. They had a 1-0 lead, then they gave a 3-run spot, got a run back, and then eventually Baddoo got that double and tied the game up. So that was a big momentum changer for the rest of that game, because that let the Tigers know, hey, we can catch up, now we can win this thing. And that's what they ended up doing.
Yeah, Joey Wentz struggled in the 3rd inning, but other than that, I think he pitched okay.
Yeah, as long as you give up 3 runs or so, even though you don't necessarily get the full 5 or 6 innings, I'd say you gave us a quality-ish start, even if it's not recognized as a full-blown quality start. In terms of for this game in general, it was nice to see the bats wake up and provide some clutch damage, some clutch hitting, because in the preceding series against Cleveland on the road against the Guardians, they scored 11 runs. In this series against Seattle, they scored only 2 runs, and that was in the first game alone. So the fact that they were able
Rogers, the 2-run home run.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, Matt Boyd in that game only lasted an inning and a third, Gave
Yeah.
up 6 runs, 5 earned, which is unacceptable. He's got a 6.47 ERA and a 156 WHIP. That is totally unacceptable.
No.
And fans have already had it with Matt Boyd.
Well, they know from past experiences too. So this is not his first tenure with the team, and for good
No,
reason.
it's his second.
Exactly. It's showing you why.
And it's a 1 year, $10 million deal. Thankfully, it's 1 year, but $10 million.
Yeah.
What are Scott Harris and Sam Menson thinking?
They're
Chris
they're
Ilitch
thinking,
too.
I guess. Well, please forget about Chris. I guess we're thinking of, hey, we need a back end rotation guy. Period. We need something for depth purposes. At least, listen, we can't have performances like we get from Eduardo Rodriguez every other day. Unfortunately, we don't have that kind of luxury anymore.
No, because Chris Ilitch keeps overspending on parking lots and other properties that are no use to instead of players. Yep. Yeah, and they overpay. They still overpay Javier Baez.
And when they do overpay,
although his bat is starting to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say when they do overpay is usually for for bad returns. There have been Zimmerman in the past, or like we're seeing lately, at least leading up to recently with Baez. It is worth noting that since he got benched against Toronto, he's turned into a completely different player since then. As for the team in general, it's nice to see them win another series this past week, especially against a divisional opponent in Cleveland.
The Cleveland Guardians. Yeah, took 2 out of 3.
Yeah, and the fact that they were able to avoid a sweep today against Seattle shows that they have a nice sense of perseverance in their character, in their makeup as a team, and that they still have a chance to salvage this home series because they have a quick 2-game set, or home set, I should say, because they have a quick 2-game series against Pittsburgh starting tomorrow.
Yeah, the Pirates. Yeah, a 2-game series starting Tuesday.
Excuse me.
Yeah, 6:40 and then 1:10 Tuesday and Wednesday. They got tomorrow and Thursday off, and then they go to DC and play the Washington Nationals. Former Tiger Jamer Candelario plays for them now.
Mm-hmm. Worth noting also after that they do have a weekend series against KC, against the Royals.
That's next.
Week. Excuse me.
Yeah. The weekend series is in national territory.
Right. I got the dates mixed up slightly, but worth noting that is, I think, the first day it starts is on my birthday. Yeah, but it starts on my birthday, believe it or not.
Happy early birthday ahead of time.
Absolutely. So, and the fact that throughout all this, it was an up and down week, but they managed to start well and finish well. They're still in third place in the division, and they're only 4 games back of the Twins.
Yeah, just barely a half game back for second place of the Guardians.
Yeah.
All right. So
Before we move on, quick note that Spencer Turnbull was placed on the injured reserve. Well, not injured reserve,
again,
IL list, but it was retroactive to the 7th. So it stems back to, remember that game that I remember talking to you about? It was against the Red Sox where he jerked his neck a certain way to avoid a line drive, and he's been having neck pain since then. I believe that's played a factor into his performance. And the fact that he got put on the IL to begin with leads to confirm that theory, at least in small part, in my view. So I guess they're going to evaluate and see how he looks, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, not only physical therapy would help, but a massage as well, like a deep tissue massage.
Well, forget about what methods use. The fact that if you get this straightened out, I think it's going to help be a way to improve on his game, because I felt before that moment happened,
well, those are methods.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just healing that injury is going to help him perform better on the field. Yeah,
that's part of it.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. So don't forget about that. Those are all ways of how you heal.
Essential.
Yes,
of course.
Exactly. So the Red Wings stay at 9th overall in the 2023 NHL draft lottery, and I know fans overreact. Some wanted the Red Wings to go all the way to number 1. That is so premature. That's like nearly very dangerously close to impossible for that to happen from 9th to 1st.
There's a reason why they had a 5% chance to begin with. I was not the one trying to go spend. Oh man, we gotta go all in. This is this kind of year. Like no. Please. We usually pick around this time and for good reason. But I have nothing to fret about because we're probably going to get a guy that's going to follow us that no one expected to follow us, just like what happened with Moritz Sider, for example.
Right.
And he's going to turn into a star for us. Either that, or we can use the draft capital that we have. But don't forget, we got pick number 17. It was the Islanders pick, but due to the Panthers moving on to the conference finals, that now, we already got that pick. Thanks to the Panthers moving on to the conference finals, that pick now moves up from number 18 to number 17. So that's 2 top 20 picks. That's what I call draft capital. You can use that to do something. You can make a move. Whatever move you want to make, you can do it because you have draft capital.
Yep, exactly. You can. So those are all the teams that we've covered on another weekly talk edition of the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. I'm Taylor Phillips. He's Ed Smith. Follow the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Michigan_Truth. Like its Facebook page and subscribe to its YouTube channel at the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. Also on Twitch. Follow actually we're not on Twitch, so forget that. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube at DT2Phillips. Follow Ed Smith on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube at EdSmith313. Special shout-outs go to Athletico Physical Therapy on Woodward in Ferndale, Baldwin Family Healthcare of Cadillac, Cadillac Nutrition. Download the Engage app to place an order for a shake or an energy tea. Cali Tickets. Call Mark Goldman at 877-225-8425 or visit CaliTickets.com. Creative Embroidery of Cadillac for designing the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast logo on my t-shirt, long sleeve shirt. Cuts by Melanie, where I got my haircut yesterday, last week in Lake City. The Edo Ramen House in Royal Oak, rated Detroit's best Japanese restaurant for consecutive years. Call 248-556-5775 to place an order or EdoRamenHouse.com. Also follow them on Instagram at Edo Ramen House. Delicious sushi and Philippine food. Impact north of Ortonville. Siemens Cadillac Nutrition. Let's roll with it. Rolled ice cream in Cadillac, now branded with the Food Mafia. The Misaki Golf Club in Lake City. Scheduled tee times today. Northern Star Event Rentals in Cadillac. Call Heather Krzyzewski at 231-884-8195 and like their Facebook page. The Red Ox Tavern in Auburn Hills. Samaritas Senior Living in Cadillac. United Food Service Solutions of Grand Ledge, Michigan. And Yin Yoga and Fitness in Traverse City. Our next episode is either this upcoming Saturday or next week, Tuesday. Until then, I'm Taylor Phillips for Ed Smith. We'll talk to you either next Saturday or this Saturday or next week, Tuesday. Until then, remember, the truth is out there. The truth happens. TTFN, ta-ta for now. Power to the people. Hit them with a hind. We close our case.
Take care and stay safe, everybody.